Today we'll be turning these beautiful colours into some gorgeous holiday towels. Let's get started. Hi everyone, it's Steph and welcome to another video. Today is the finale, so I'll be doing a montage at the end of this video for all of the previous towels in this series. So stay until the end so that you can experience all of the towels that is a part of this series that I've done for you. This set of towels are basically Christmas towels, and I've used the wine colour and the Seton green. Here I'm just working out how thick I want the boxes to be, and I've decided that I want them to be rectangular. So I'll be doing more of the wine colour in the weft than is in the warp, but apart from that the weft will mirror the warp. As always, I like to give you different colour choices, so sticking with traditional Christmas colours, you can actually put the Seton green as the main colour and do the stripes in the wine if you wish. Still very pretty. I'll be using my 60 centimetre or 24 inch rigid Heddle loom plus the colours. I've got an extra colour there just in case I run out of the wine. I'll be using a 10 dent reed and also my cardboard tube to cover the knots, and a pickup stick at the end to even up the sheds. Loom clamps, my measuring tape with a clip so I know when the two towels are ending and beginning. Retractable tape, scissors, my threading hook, and I'll also be using 2 shuttles today. And as always, my coat rack that I use as my pegs already clamped to my table. I'm using my 10 dent reed with my 8/4 cotton today. The length of the warp is my dining table length, which is 1.9 metres, which I think is just over 76 inches, and we'll be weaving 2 towels, both of them 80 centimetres or 31.5 inches in length. The width in the reed is 55 centimetres, which is just under 22 inches. As always, I like to attach my apron rod to the heddle and wind back just a little bit to keep everything nice and secure, and this helps with keeping an even tension. I'll be warping through the slots only, and I'm starting with 3 of the wine colour in the first 3 slots. So that's pulling 1 loop through the first three slots, and that will just give me a nice border. Then I'm going to do 1 Seton, 1 wine, 1 Seton, 1 wine, and then 8 wines in a row. So actually, if you put those together, it's 9 wines. And then I will continue that across the entire warp and then end with 3 wine at the end. Once I've finished warping up, I just tie on all of my ends. Then I do a little check just to make sure I haven't missed any slots or doubled any. Then I unhook the heddle from the apron rod and unhook my loom from my table. I then wind on just a little bit so that I can slot my warp separator in. I use a thick brown paper. Then I can wind on, as always, I wind on direct towards the pegs. I slide it across my dining table, which is why it looks like a wet weekend. But the advantage of this is I can wind on all by myself. It's easy, simple and quick, and it helps to keep the tension even. Once my loom is on the stand and ready to go, I just tie off in little bundles and then grab the first bundle, snip off the ends and start threading. Here I've already threaded the first section so that you can see what it looks like. So basically you're threading all of your green colour, the seton, into 4 consecutive holes only, not the slots. So let me show you what this looks like a little bit closer. So we start with a wine colour and we pull one thread out and pop it on top of the heddle. We then pull out both of the seton green, we save one on top of the heddle and then we thread one into the hole. Then we can put the wine from the top of the heddle into the next slot. Then we can put the seton into the next hole and then we repeat. So pull out one wine, pop it on top of the heddle, pull out both seton green colours, pop one on top of the heddle, thread one through the next hole, then you can pop the wine on top of the heddle into the next slot and then the green into the next hole, and that's it. So we just continue that. Obviously with the wine colours you just move one from the slot into the hole until you get to one of those sections. So deceptively simple and easy, and we'll continue that all the way along. As always, I like to grab 8 threads, pop a knot down the bottom and throw it over the top when it's done, and that'll be ready for lashing on. To lash on, I get some scrap yarn that's about 4 to 5 times the width of the loom. I wind about half of it up into a yarn butterfly. This just makes it a little bit easier to handle, and then tie the other end to my apron rod. I then grab each group of 8 threads, dividing in half, pop the scrap yarn through the top, around the bottom of the apron rod, and continue that across all of the bundles. I do like to tighten up a little bit as I go as well, because the threads do tend to loosen up a little bit as they become tighter around the back beam. So once that's all done, I'll strum the warp at the back of the heddle just to see if I can feel any slack areas with tension, so that I can fix that before I tie the other end of the scrap yarn on. Then once that's done, we are ready to spread the warp. To spread the warp, I like to do 3 picks of scrap yarn without beating. Once you've got those 3 picks there, you can then beat those 3 picks down towards your knots. Just make sure that you've got a nice straight line down the bottom, because that's where we start our weaving from. Then we're going to do the same again, another 3 picks without beating, and then beat those next 3 picks down towards the first 3. And that's usually all I need to do to spread my warp. I've just wound my 2 shuttles, one with the wine colour and one with the seton green, ready to go. The weft sequence is exactly the same for the warp, however there is a bigger gap between the green colours, the seton colours. So I did 22 picks of the wine colour and then alternating picks of wine, seton, wine, seton, wine, seton, wine, seton, and then another 22 picks of the wine. And that's pretty much it. Until I got to the end of the first towel. Super easy. When I got to 80 centimeters or 31.5 inches, I then put in 2 picks of scrap yarn, because that marks the end of the first towel and the beginning of the second towel. After putting in a couple of picks of scrap yarn, I realised I had very little wine colour left, so I did have to use the framboise that I put aside, which is raspberry. It's a little bit more pinky in colour, but it should blend in and still look good. When I got to 80 centimeters for the second towel, I nipped off the end, tucked in my tail, and then put a couple of picks of scrap yarn in. I think I did 4 picks. And then I was able to remove the pickup stick from the back, and then I just cut the yarn off the apron rod in small groups and then knotted it up close to the scrap yarn. Then I was able to pull the weaving from the loom. I'm so pleased with these towels. I always struggle a little bit with traditional Christmas colours, the red and green, but I actually really liked this design because it actually makes one colour dominant and the other one is an accent. I'm sure there's probably clever and smarter people out there who can put colours together better than I, but I was actually really pleased with these towels. I wet finished the towels in my washing machine just on the delicate cycle with a little bit of dish soap to remove any machine oils from the manufacturer of the yarn. And then I popped them in the dryer so they're all pre-shrunk and ready to sew up. There is some tracking on this set of towels, not pronounced, but it is there and it's still very pretty. I gave them a really good iron and also nipped off any of my tails, and then I'm ready to sew them into some beautiful towels. To be able to safely cut these apart without them unraveling, I'm just zigzagging up very close to the scrap yarn at the beginning and the end of the weave, and also in the middle where I've put the 2 picks of scrap yarn, I'm going to zigzag either side of those, and then I can safely cut the towels apart. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this towel series as much as I did. This will be it for towels until the next series, and I'm really looking forward to creating some different beautiful projects and sharing them with you. As always, please like, share and subscribe. Super thanks are also available, and thank you so much for your ongoing support. Stay tuned for the montage of all the towels in the series, and we'll see you all again soon.